The first time I saw her, she wasn't a woman. Not in the way I understood it. She was a force. A moving wall of silver and crimson armor, taller than me by a head, carrying a plasma spear that hummed with enough power to turn me into ash. Her name, I would later learn, was Kaelera, commander of the 4th Legion of the Vey'Drin Empire. But that day, on the scorched plains of Zaran 6, she was just another enemy. Beginning. A battlefield and a blunder. I was a combat engineer, not a soldier. My mission was simple. Set up an extraction beacon, hold position, and pray reinforcements arrived before the Vey'Drin found us. But as fate would have it, they found us first. 3 of them dropped from their transport, landing with thunderous force. Their armor shimmered like liquid mercury. I had no chance. Not with a broken blaster and no backup. I dove behind a rock, clutching my comlink, whispering for help that would never come. Then I heard the hiss of armor hydraulics. One of them, her, stepped closer. "Human," she said, her voice metallic, cold. "You trespass on sacred ground." Her accent was strange, the words sharp but melodic. Through the visor I could see faint light, eyes that glowed faintly blue. I don't know why I said it. Maybe fear made me stupid. Maybe exhaustion did. But as she stood there, framed against the rising twin suns, her armor gleaming, I whispered, "You look beautiful in that armor." Silence. The other 2 warriors turned their helmets toward her, as if waiting for her to crush me for the insult. My breath froze in my chest. Then, something unexpected happened. She tilted her head slightly, not in anger but confusion. "Beautiful," she repeated, as though tasting the word. I nodded, trying not to sound like a lunatic. "Yeah, beautiful, powerful, like something out of myth." Her soldiers exchanged glances. She didn't move for a long moment, then raised her spear, not to strike but to deactivate it. "Take him alive," she commanded softly. That's how it began. The strangest, most dangerous connection I'd ever make. Middle a prisoner among warriors. The Vey'Drin ship was nothing like ours. Its walls pulsed faintly with living light, as if the metal itself was breathing. I was kept in a containment field. Not a cell exactly, but more like a bubble of suspended air. She came to see me every day. First I thought it was interrogation. But she never asked questions that made sense for an interrogator. "Why do humans call each other beautiful?" she asked once. I hesitated. "Because it means something more than appearance. It's how someone makes you feel when you see them." She tilted her head again. "Then you meant to disarm me with emotion." I didn't mean anything. I was just honest. Her eyes flickered in amusement. Or was it curiosity? It was hard to tell with her expression so controlled. But that day she stayed longer than usual. Over the next few cycles, our talks became stranger. She asked about Earth, oceans, music, laughter. I asked about her empire. She told me about the Vey'Drin code, the laws of honor and battle. "Our armor is sacred," she said. "It's more than protection, it's identity. To remove it before an outsider is unthinkable." That word stayed with me, unthinkable. The battle that changed everything. Then came the day everything turned upside down. A rival faction, the Threxian raiders, ambushed their vessel. Explosions tore through the hull. The ship screamed around us. My containment field collapsed and I ran out into chaos. Smoke, fire, gravity distortions. I stumbled into a corridor where Kaelera and her squad fought desperately against a swarm of Threxian intruders. For the first time I saw fear flash across her face, just for a moment, as a plasma grenade rolled toward her position. Without thinking, I lunged, grabbed it, and hurled it down an access chute. The explosion took the chute, and part of my arm's skin with it. When I came to, I was lying on a medical platform. Kaylara stood over me, helmet removed. That was the first time I saw her true face. Her skin was pale silver, her eyes glowing faintly like polished sapphire. Sharp but graceful features. Alien yet mesmerizing. "You risked yourself," she said quietly. "For me." I smiled weakly. "Guess I wasn't done annoying you." Her gaze softened. "Among the Vey'Drin, such an act demands acknowledgement." "What kind?" Her expression grew unreadable. "You gave your life to protect mine. By code, I owe you a bond of honor." "I don't know what that means." "It means," she said, lowering her gaze, "I serve you until the bond is complete." I didn't know what to say. A warrior like her, bound to a human engineer. It was absurd. But her tone was solemn. A strange alliance. The days that followed blurred into something I couldn't have imagined. Kaylara refused to let anyone else treat my injuries. She carried me through corridors, oversaw my recovery, and even refused commands from her own subordinates if they conflicted with ensuring my safety. Whispers followed her everywhere. The great commander Kaylara, bound to a human. It was unthinkable. One night I found her sitting by the viewport, helmet off, staring at the stars. "You regret it, don't you?" "Yes." She didn't answer at first. "Among my people, bonds of honor are eternal in spirit. But," she turned to me, eyes shimmering in starlight, "no one has ever formed one with a human." "Guess I'm full of firsts," I said. A faint smile tugged at her lips. "You speak like you do not fear consequence. Because right now, the only thing that scares me is losing this connection we have." Her eyes locked onto mine. "Human emotions are unpredictable, dangerous. Yet, I find myself drawn to understand them." Silence filled the air, heavier than gravity. Then she stood and placed her gauntlet hand over her chestplate. "You called me beautiful once," she said softly. "Would you still say that, knowing who I am, what I've done?" "Yes," I whispered. "Because beauty isn't perfection. It's truth." She stared at me, as if searching for deception. Then, in a move that defied her empire's code, she began removing her armor. Piece by piece, the sound of locks disengaging, the soft hiss of pressurized seals. When the final plate fell away, she stood before me, unarmored, vulnerable yet radiant. "No outsider has seen me like this," she said. "If my people knew." "I won't tell anyone," I said. "I know," she replied. "That is why I am unafraid." The final test. Our fragile peace didn't last. The Vey'Drin High Council learned of the bond and ordered her arrest for dishonor. They stormed the ship while I was still recovering. Kaylara fought to protect me, against her own kind. "Kaylara!" I shouted as plasma bolts tore through the air. "Stop, they'll kill you." Her spear flashed, parrying 3 strikes in a blur. "Then so be it," she shouted. "They will not take what I have chosen to protect." But the numbers overwhelmed her. As I crawled toward her, I triggered an emergency defense system I'd been repairing secretly, a gravitational pulse generator. It detonated, collapsing the corridor walls and scattering the soldiers. When the smoke cleared, we were both alive, barely. "Why did you do that?" she asked weakly. "Because no one gets to decide who you are except you." She stared at me, eyes wide. Then, with a shaky breath, she pressed her hand to my chest, over my heart.